Joining us next on the MARR Army Rock Show. First visit here to the MARR Army Rock Show, we've got Chris from the Mississauga, Ontario band Phear with us. Chris, welcome to the show.
Thanks, man. Thanks for having me. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah, man. So I'm excited to talk to you. I'm just getting to know your band a little bit more, and I have a feeling some of our listeners are too. And you're not, you're not newbies to the music world. So if you would do me a favor, just kind of give a bio of the band and a little introduction of Phear to our listeners.
Well, as far as the history of Phear, myself, I'm the newest member of the band, so I wasn't really around for the beginning of the band. But the main guys, Patrick the singer, Tyson guitar player, Chris the drummer, they had an older band together formed called Rampage many years ago, and a lot of the songs on the first Phear album kind of came from that era. Patrick the singer was in a band called Eidolon many years ago with the guys formerly from Megadeth, the Drover brothers. And there's lots of backgrounds in the band, and those guys just sort of got together recently, a couple years ago, and kind of reformed things, and got recruited Graham, the other guitar player, and myself, and the current version of Phear is that's how we got started.
So you guys just released a record not too long ago called Curse Lives On, and I want to spend a little time talking about it. And the first thing fans will notice is a new tune called Dirty Work, so mixed in with some live tunes. So tell us a little bit about the tune Dirty Work.
Well, again, Dirty Work was a tune that was written originally for the first Phear album that was put out called Insanitarium. It didn't get put on that album, but we were looking for some new material, and it was a song that we'd all started kind of getting excited about. And I personally, they played a version of it for me that was already previously recorded, and I thought it was a great song. So I kind of, in a way, kind of convinced those guys to get it going again. We re-recorded a few parts for it, and decided to re-release that song on the album. And it's actually been getting a really good response. We're really happy with it because it was kind of an older tune that got reworked, and we're happy it kind of got resurrected. So
now you guys did a music video for that. Tell us a little bit about the making of that music video, where you shot that thing, and who produced it.
We produced it ourselves. Everything, all our music videos you see, we did ourselves. Actually, we did that video. We did two videos that weekend. In one weekend, the Dirty Work video was kind of a stripped down version of we kind of just wanted to show us kind of jamming in the room, just kind of not like a huge production kind of quality to it, just showing us kind of jamming and having fun. And whereas our other videos had a bigger production with larger light shows and all that kind of thing, whereas Dirty Work was just kind of like down and dirty, it was just kind of us jamming. And that was the concept we were trying to go for that one. But yeah, we did it ourselves, and we have a couple of guys in the band that are great editors as well. So yeah, we just put it together and released it independently.
Well, nice job on that, man. It came out really well. Now, one of my favorite bands, you guys did a cover tune of, and I think if I'm not mistaken, it's the first cover tune you guys have released. So tell us a little bit about the cover on Curse Lives On.
Well, we did the epic Iron Maiden song, Rhyme of the Ancient Mariner, and the reason we chose that song was because it was one of the most epic songs that we could think of to cover, and it was a challenge, and we wanted to do something that wasn't, would be a typical sort of popular cover to do. We wanted to pick something that would challenge ourselves and also the listeners out there to go like, wow, they can't believe you guys covered this song, So it's been getting a really good response, and we also shot a video for Rhyme of the Ancient Mariner as well. The same weekend we did Dirty Work. We just crammed in, and we worked hard for the entire weekend. We pumped out those two videos, and so far, the cover came out fantastic in our own opinion. So
now, both your current album and going back to Insanitarium feature a lot of what I would call like full-length tunes. They're not like the 3-minute radio-ready singles. Has that always been part of the band's kind of bloodstream?
Well, there's always been a progressive element to the songs. I mean, in the main songwriters, especially for the Insanitarium album, it was never an intent to write sort of like radio-friendly pop songs or popular songs. It was more to just write the music for ourselves and write the music for the meaning behind what the song was about, and to not worry about having a friendly length, to get on the radio or whatnot. It was just, getting everything that was out there into the song and writing for what was important for the song at the time. So.
Now, I mentioned there's a few live tunes on the EP. Are there any live dates on your guys' calendar anytime soon?
We just started booking some shows. Actually, we booked a show in Toronto for November, and we're just currently in the process of booking as much as we can for the back half of this year. So that's kind of we're just getting started in that process, and hopefully we'll have some release date soon that we'll be posting on our website and our Facebook page and all the other usual outlets. So yeah, we're actually really excited about finally getting out and playing because we want people. We wanted to put the live tunes on the EP just because it's a good representation of Phear. It's not just, we want to show people that it's not just when you come to see a show, you're getting something special. It's not just us playing the song. We're getting something unique at the show, and we're excited to finally bring that out to a larger audience again. Finally, for the first time this year, so it's going to be good.
Now, we're based out of Pennsylvania. Is there any hope for any U.S. dates? I know it's expensive for you all to come down here to the States, but is there any hope for some U.S. dates?
Yeah, that's the thing. It's actually more expensive for Canadian bands to come to play in the States than it is to even go to Europe and whatnot. It's actually easier for bands from you guys to come up to Canada. So, we're trying to because we're doing all this ourselves, right? And we don't have any sort of major representation or that kind of thing to help us do this. So, we're doing the best we can at this point to get out there to a large audience as we can. We'd love to come to the States, we'd love this. We've got a lot of interest already. So, at this point, it's sort of it's almost like a financial roadblock.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. I hear that so often from Canadian bands, and I wish there was something we could do about that situation to make it better. But hey, you guys have some classic styled artwork on your records, and I couldn't help but notice the same character. And instantly, when I heard the Maiden cover tune, my mind went to Iron Maiden and Eddie. So is he your Eddie?
That's Fred with a PH. That's our guy, Fred.
Tell us a little bit about him.
Well, he showed up on the Insanitarium tour. The Insanitarium album, and the whole concept of Phear is the sort of the first album, anyways, was the sort of conquer your fears. And there's a lot of songs not on that album about various things that we felt that people would be fearful of in their lives and whatnot. And Fred is sort of the antithesis of that. He's just sort of the representation of people's worst fears. And we thought, let's keep him hanging around for the Curse Lives On EP as well. And of course, the little girl Reagan, from our song Reagan's Dream, that's she's sort of his prodigy, so to speak. So they're kind of a pair, right? They're kind of a pair right now. So we don't know what's going to happen with the two of them, going forward, but we'll see.
now, do they ever make an appearance on stage, or are they strictly album artwork right now?
He's going to make an appearance very soon. We have some big stuff planned for our shows, and we're hoping that Fred can come alive for the live audience. That's definitely one thing we're planning, and we thought would be pretty fun to do. So
that would be awesome.
That's definitely in the works.
I'd love to see it, man. That sounds so cool.
Yeah, we would too. I think, I'm going to be honest here because it's just really funny. We did a show a while ago, and it was a last-minute decision to try and get a Fred kind of made for the stage. And it just didn't turn out well. To be perfectly honest, you got to kind of laugh at yourself sometimes. We tried to do this representative. We had a Fred made that just looked a little bit he just kind of looked like this clown sitting on the stage, and people were like, "What is that? Why is that sitting there?" We're like, "Yeah, that didn't work." So when Fred finally makes his real appearance, he's going to be epic. So.
And no worries there, man. I can remember it was about 1981 I saw the first rendition of Eddie, so no shame there. The first Eddie was not all that spectacular either. So
yeah. Our first, that was our first physical representation of Fred, and I felt that it definitely didn't. What appeared on the album cover definitely didn't come across the first time. But you know what? He's a work in progress. He's gonna come forward, and he's gonna make himself known soon.
So, hey, stylistically, you guys are kind of, in my opinion, that classic metal genre we've kind of been talking about. So, who do you play with live? What kind of bands do you try to perform with?
Well, the bands we try to perform with, first of all, it's hard to sort of get a local network of bands, and that's the kind of thing you try to get. Is you try to get, like, you take your local area, and you're trying to get people to support their local music as much as possible. So you want to try and form a network of bands that are always kind of playing, not always playing together, but always sort of representing their genre in your local area. So we're trying to find, there's a couple of prog metal bands. There's a band called Prism Mind, who we played with before. They're from the Hamilton area, and they're a pretty prog technical metal band. And with us, we've sort of been labeled as thrash and sort of classic metal as well. So, there's a lot of bands in Toronto, a lot of the younger metal bands especially, have the very, very metalcore style, like the hard, growly vocals and stuff, which is, we have some of that too, but Patrick has a melodic voice, right, and that's our style. So, we're trying to find other bands that kind of fit into that style as well, but also keep the heaviness alive, It's difficult, because you never know who's going to be out there.
Yeah,
but at the same time, sorry, go ahead.
No, that was actually the last question I wanted to ask you. Your area, Canada, we've been to Mississauga. I know exactly where it is. And there's so much of a rich history that people don't know of producing great musical acts out of your area. Are there still a lot of great clubs and venues, or do you have to travel to play? Do you have to travel outside of Mississauga to play?
Well, right now, there's a really great club called the Rock Pile in Mississauga. And that's been, actually, I just last night myself, I was there at the Rock Pile to see Blaze Bailey. If you're familiar with who Blaze Bailey is, he was the singer that replaced Bruce Dickinson and Iron Maiden from 94 to 99. And that club is beginning a lot of great acts coming through. And it's actually one of the better places to see some really good metal in Mississauga these days. So if any of your listeners are familiar with the area and know Mississauga, the Rock Pile is definitely a good place to go. And that's a place that we ourselves have played a few times and are planning to also book for the future as well. So, yeah, and as far as the Mississauga area, that's kind of the big one.
Well, listen, man, I've really had a good time talking with you. The band is Phear. It's spelled Phear. They're out of Mississauga, Ontario. I love everything about it except their traffic up there. And you guys get some nasty traffic, I'll tell you that much. But
oh, man, you're preaching to the choir on that one, man. Oh, my God.
Well, hey, their album is The Curse Lives On. It came out back in June. Go out and check that out. And once again, Chris Boshis, man, thanks a lot for being on the show. I appreciate talking to you.
No problem, man. I appreciate you having me. It was great.